Hello to all my lazy gamers and welcome back to another mod review. Today we have the Sett mod that was made by lemonlust. This is the creator of the Katarina mod that I've done earlier, and if you haven't checked out that video, I'll go ahead and leave that on the annotations up there. Now then, let's get right into it. So as always, we're gonna go ahead and get started right away with Sett's passive, Heart of the Half Beast. So Sett gets additional health regen for every 5% missing health, and this goes up by 0.25 for every 4 levels you gain, allowing him to stay alive for a lot longer. Then we have his primary. His primary is Knuckle Down, so Sett's basic attack alternates between his left punch and his right punch, his left punch doing 260% damage while his right punch does 320% damage. For his secondary, we have Facebreaker. Now Facebreaker lets Sett pull in enemies that are around a 20-meter radius of him, dealing 380% damage, and this move stuns and slows all enemies on hit. This is a great move that really allows you to bring in all kinds of enemies so that they are within punching range, since this character is a purely melee character. Now for his utility, we have one of the best looking moves ever. We have the Showstopper. So Sett will dash forward, grabbing an enemy, taking them into the air, and then slamming them back down, dealing 1600% damage plus a 10% of their max health and shield, and this damage is also dealt to any enemies within the area. And lastly, for Sett skills, we have his special, Haymaker. Now with this special, Sett has a special bar called Grit, so when you take damage you gain grit. With this stored up grit, you can then use your special to expand the grit, and that grit will then be turned into a shield for you, and you deal damage in the area in front of you, a fairly large area, dealing 2700% damage plus 75% of the expanded grit, and that 75% goes up by 5% for every 4 levels you have. Now with all the skills taken out of the way, we can go down to one of the more unique features of this character. So we have the Keystone passives. So these are 4 passives you have. These are based off of the League of Legends abilities that you were able to pick from. And we have Conqueror, Lethal Tempo, Phase Rush, and Electrocute. So from the top, Conqueror basically just gives you bonus damage on successful attacks and abilities, and once you have a full stacks of Conquerors, you also gain 6% lifesteal on all of your abilities. Then we have Lethal Tempo. With this one, on successful attacks and abilities, you will gain 10% bonus attack speed up to 60%. Now for Phase Rush, every time you hit an enemy, you will generate a stack of phase on them. Once you apply 3 stacks within 4 seconds, you get a 30% bonus move speed for the next 3 seconds. And the last Keystone passive we have is Electrocute. With this one, you generate a stack on an enemy for getting a successful attack or ability on them. Once you get 3 stacks on the target within a 3-second period, you cause them to get struck by lightning for 600% damage. The Electrocute also has a 5-second cooldown per target. Now Sett is a character that was very faithfully brought over from League of Legends. He's one of the flashier characters in the game, and that flashiness has definitely been brought over, especially with his utility as being able to just absolutely take any enemy and dunk them, and I mean almost pretty much any enemy. I don't think there's been an enemy that I have not been able to use this move on. I have used it on bosses, the jellyfish, the stone titans. All of them just get grabbed and dunked. It looks hilarious. It feels amazing. It's an extremely cool move to use. The character has its passives with you can choose to flavor up the way you kind of play the character, which is always fun to have those extra levels of loadouts that you can change and kind of try out a couple different things with the character. This character also comes with all of the skins that he has from League of Legends, so you can choose any of your favorite skins if you do have that too. Now in terms of fluidity when you're actually playing the character, this is one of the, again, best animated characters I've played with. The animation is so crisp, the flow between moves, the way it feels to play is just absolutely some of the best in modding that we currently have. This character feels amazing to play. You can easily have amazing setups, tons of damage, you got shields, You can do move speed if you want. You can do all kinds of setups and stuff with this character, and then once the items start coming in, you can get pretty wild with the character. And all throughout that is just the constant of punching, grabbing people, going to the air. You have this big AoE hit from your special that does tons of damage. You have your face breaker, so even if enemies are flying, you can't quite get to them, you can pull them in if you jump up and try to like just grab them down, and that really helps out. The pull down can do tons of damage to some of the floating enemies, especially the giant eyeball, whose name I'm forgetting right now, because on the pull down you can actually still get the fall damage to hit them. So they hit the floor. If they hit the floor, they'll be done a lot of damage, which is one of the ways you can get a really quick kill on that enemy too. So the character has a lot of depth in that department, and it's just, and again, overall one of the more fun characters to play. As always with lemonlust, the amount of polish that goes into these characters is truly impressive. Like it's unlike any other mods that I've definitely seen, and I'm still going through a lot of mods still, but the level of polish is just on a whole different level for sure, and I always love to see that. Now, as always, the link to this mod is going to be down in the description, and while you're down there, please subscribe. I'm going to be doing a lot more mod reviews in the coming future, and if there's any mod that you'd like me to check out, please go ahead and leave it in the comments, and I'll make sure to take a look, and hopefully we can find some very, very cool mods together. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one.